Well, let's have a look how they line up then for round 14 of the championship, and qualifying 12th yesterday, therefore on pole for this race is Henry Mercier. Then alongside Jimmy Pezique, August Raber on row 2 with Ethan Jeff Hall. Then it's Theo Palmer and Rowan Campbell-Pilling completing row 3. Behind them, Henry Jocelyn and Thomas Behrman. Harry Bansell qualified well yesterday. He's on row 5 with Chase Fernandez, one of the two stallers. Fionn McLaughlin next up with Martin Molnar, second yesterday to McLaughlin and championship leader. Leo Robinson next up from Adam Al-Azari. Then it's Yuhao Fu and Tommy Harfield. Xavier Avramides and Ella Lloyd, who's got our onboard camera, next up. And the grid completed by Cole Hewitson and Elba Larson. Championship complexion. I've been sort of telling everyone this is the most competitive championship for years, but there's a gap developing at the top of the table. Martin Molnar on 162, just 4 points down is Fionn McLaughlin, and then a gap of around about 40 points to Jimmy Pezique, who in the reverse grid race is up the front end. So this is a very important race for Pezique, who starts on the outside of the front row.
It certainly is. He does need to try and get into the lead here to try and get some more points back, because he is one of the quickest drivers out there. Unfortunately, just had a little bit bad luck, and with Molnar and McLaughlin being very consistent and just keep picking up points and the odd win here and there, it's just giving them the advantage at the moment. But let's see if the Argenti driver of Mercier can keep this pole position, keep the lead, and get into the first corner first.
Mercier in blue with the yellow background to the number, denoting first-year car driver. And there's a Rowan Campbell-Pilling clearly jumped the start there.
Oh my God, yeah, that was so early. He's got a massive lead there. But I was looking out the window and I couldn't work out what had happened there, because no one seemed to move apart from one car, which was absolutely ballistic. So Campbell-Pilling's got that all wrong.
He's just having rotten luck, isn't he, Campbell-Pilling, at the moment? He really is not having any luck at all. He was involved yesterday. It was a shame, you know, going for that gap due to the stallers.
Oh, Fernandez has lost his front wing going through turn 1 and now going into turn 3. He's just run wide with no front grip whatsoever. And Campbell-Pilling's now locked up and gone for the long circuit now. So, yeah, I'm not sure what's going on today with Campbell-Pilling. He's jumped the start and then he's missed the braking point for the hairpin. So now that's Pezique, who we were just talking about, now leading.
Yeah, Jimmy Pezique then, so he needs the points here as they come down from Hilltop for the first time. Pezique leading. Second position is August Raber, the man with the most wins in the championship so far this year. 3 wins for Raber. So again, if you think this is a reverse grid race, Raber, you'd have expected him to be up higher and further back in the reverse grid race. So this is, you know, really a very weird position, a very weird race as they come to Oulton Park, to see the positions changing around. I think that probably is as much to do with the competitiveness of this championship as we've seen it so far, but Pezique doing what he needs to do at the moment with that lead from...
Oh, big lock up for Jeff Hall there.
Yeah, Ethan Jeff Hall. Great thing about the reverse is it's a chance for drivers such as Mercier to grab a first podium as we go on board with Ella Lloyd.
Yeah, Ella Lloyd in the McLaren Rodin coloured car, so going into turn 1, trying to get into that camber. You can see a few people locking up a lot on lap 1 and 2, because it is quite cold today compared to yesterday, and you can see she's got to run on the Excel car in front as they go into the dip now, as they go through Cascade, just trying to pick up the camber once again. Very cambered circuit here at Oulton Park, lots of bumps, lots of cambered corners which you really have to get the car into. Look at them all locking up as they're going into the hairpin. So difficult to get the car stopped when you want to lock one of those front wheels.
Very much so, and Ella coming off the back of a very good F1 Academy weekend last weekend in Canada, where she took 3 second places, so underlining her pace in that championship. Oh, and Pilling, will he be bothered about a 5-second full start? Not now.
It's only 5 seconds though, so if he had have kept that lead, it is only 5 seconds, which is amazing. But I mean, he has obviously lost a lot by going and doing the full circuit, But yeah, if he had kept that lead and just disappeared like he could have done, 5 seconds doesn't seem enough. If you see it again, I think he's actually gone on the red.
There he goes.
No, he's just gone when he felt like it. He made these mistakes last year, if you remember, and I thought we were going to see less mistakes from Campbell-Pilling, but unfortunately these same gremlins keep coming back, and just, I don't know what happens when he gets on the start line. He just sort of melts, and unfortunately it's a real big mistake. And as you can see, a wing there flying off from Fernandez, and he's just, as you can see, got no front grip at all as he's tried to turn through Cascades. And yeah, he's obviously pitted for a new front wing. the XL guys will be very quick at getting that front wing back on. But yeah, Mercier, let's just talk about Mercier. He's actually kept third position there. He's got his teammate Jeff all behind, but he's just going to now settle down into the race and try and get this podium. Ella Lloyd down the inside of the XL car and the CDR car. Doesn't quite get past Harfield, but great move from Ella Lloyd.
Yeah, superb stuff on Yu Hao Fu. And now Tommy Harfield, who was, I think, championship leader, if I remember correctly, when we left Donington Park, subject to appeals. But certainly had a good weekend at Donington for the first one. Pazik away, Raver fastest lap on lap 2. Mercier still in third, and that's what these races are about, isn't it? You know, we knew Pazik, remember, second-year driver. Interesting for Jimmy Pazik coming to Oulton Park. He had last year off to do Australian F4. Wasn't with us in British F4 last year, but he was with us the year before. So he's one of the few drivers with F4 experience of Oulton Park.
Yeah, exactly. He is quite experienced, Pazik. So you know, we are expecting good things from him, which we are seeing right now. Fastest lap of the race as well. No, that goes to Raver. So Raver's taken fastest lap of the race from Pazik. 21.7. I think it's a low 20s, the lap record, but we maybe see those laps come down as the race goes on, and maybe later on, especially if it stays nice and cool, which is much better for the tyre life.
This is fascinating now, on board with Ella Lloyd, but chasing the championship leader, Martin Molnar, who's not made too much progress at the moment. In fact, he's dropped back. He's 13th. He's behind Tommy Harfield. So Tommy Harfield has overtaken the championship leader. There is Ella, busy chasing. So we're going to get a really good battle here, hopefully, between the two. Yu Hao Fu wants to get stuck back in, and then Xavier Avramides. All these drivers have been up or near podiums at certain points, so although I said there's a little bit of a gap emerging at the top of the points table, it is still a very, very close season that we've had so far. This is the halfway point. We won't see the cars at our next TOCA meeting, which is at Croft, because they've got a Zandvoort meeting to look forward to, and of course in a fortnight time British Grand Prix meeting. That's non-championship as far as the British go, but bags of prestige with that.
Yeah, that's amazing. The fact that the British F4 Championship has managed to get a slot on the British Grand Prix weekend, that means you're going to have F4, F3, F2 and F1 all on the same weekend at the British Grand Prix. Is going to be amazing to watch, and a lot of these guys and girls are going to be doing it, so we'll have to watch out for these future F1 stars at the F1 race at Silverstone.
It's going to bring a lot of new viewers to the world of F4 racing, which is absolutely superb for us here in the UK, and will, I'm absolutely sure, you know, do no harm at all to the profile of this wonderful championship, which we are seeing as McLaughlin there. McLaughlin, championship-wise, a moment to think about that, has come up from 11th on the grid to 7th. So McLaughlin, the Red Bull car, has made good progress, and this is very handy for championship, because there are points on where you finish, but also points on places gained. And at the moment, Molnar is out of the points and he's dropped a place, so he's not on for any points. Whereas McLaughlin will get 12th to 7th, which is 5 points, plus I think 2 points for 7th place. So potentially knocking on the door of the championship lead here, and in a reverse grid race, that's a good feat.
Absolutely, but also looking at Banzel, who's behind McLaughlin, he is looking like he's starting to put a bit of pressure on the Red Bull driver. Banzel's second weekend in British F4, he's been doing a lot of testing with RR and getting up to speed, and he's actually driving for Fortec this season. He's been doing a little bit of GB4 as well, so he's definitely one to watch for the future. You can see the Fortec car just behind the Red Bull car there, coming into the last corner, had a little lock-up, but he is chasing down the high-tech car of McLaughlin, and we should see some action in the next few laps, I would think.
Yeah, that's a good point. Fortec still very much a class outfit in terms of any Formula racing and on F4. But let's have a Phil Glue moment with Ella Lloyd.
Yeah, as we go through turn 1, we go down 1 gear, a little bit of camber, don't run too wide because there's some track limits there. And it's flat out through the kink, over the brow. You've got to brake with a bit of bump there. You've got to make sure, she has a little bit of a lock, a little bit of a slide as she tries to turn in 4 cascades. Again, try not to run too wide for track limits. And then it's a very bumpy braking zone as you're coming into the hairpin. So you've got to be very cautious not to sort of have any steering lock on and not hit the brake too hard. Make sure you modulate the brake pressure as you're going over the bumps, and come back over to the right, coming out the hairpin, because it's slightly lower on the right-hand side of the track. Then bring it back over to the left, ready for the braking zone, which is downhill into the chicane. A little bit of a slide there, but that's what you want. You want some rotation, because it's so important now to flick the car in, rotate it, make sure you get the exit for this very steep uphill section, ready for Druids, which is a very high-speed part of the circuit, double apex. You actually only apex once, but you want to turn it in and get pushed out. So you click the first apex, pushed out. You didn't actually make either there, but it doesn't really matter for a high-speed corner like that. And then you're coming into the last corner again, very bumpy. So you've got to make sure that you modulate the brake pressure, release it into the camber, get the car rotated. It wants to understeer here because it kind of drops away on the exit curve. So you've got to make sure the rotation comes nice and early to give the exit that you need, ready for the start line and into turn 1 once again.
Ella closing up on the group in front, and looking at the timing screen, all of the drivers bar 2, in fact now make that bar 1, all in the 1:21. That is how close and competitive this championship is this year. It's such a very close competition. Pole positions are important, equally making the most of reverse grid races where appropriate is equally so as well. Zeke's still out front. Fastest lap now with Rowan Campbell-Pilling, who I guess has had a little bit of clear track, but that's going to be good for Rowan. He does deserve a little bit better luck than he has had. He's a great lad, always comes up and talks, always gives us the news, tells us what he's up to, and he really does deserve a better run with the green than he's had. Absolutely,
yeah. As you can see here, with a Hartfield with CDR all over the back of Leo Robinson in the high-tech car, as we see a black and white flag now for number 25. That's Jeff Hall. So he has got a black and white flag for track limits, so he needs to be careful. He doesn't want to be losing any positions here, especially getting any 5-second penalties. There's Bierman in 5th, Jocelyn in 6th, so he is going to start losing positions if he does one more.
Just going back to our pole position man, Henry Mercier did a pretty good job, really. I know from pole to 3rd, people might want to argue that point, but we have to consider that he's a first-year driver. Pazik and Raber have got that much more experience than Henry Mercier.
Yeah.
And, you know, they both had experiences of starting off the front. Henry hasn't, so it was a huge ask for him.
And also, just to add to that, you're probably a little bit put off with someone coming down the middle of the track. Well, just jump the start.
That's a good point, actually, yeah.
It was probably a bit of a surprise for Henry Mercier, but he's a great lad. He's driving for Argenti. He lives in Spain. He's from America, and the family come backwards and forwards to race in the UK. He does a great job to learn the circuits as quickly as he does. He's always on the sim, you know, with different coaches, just trying to get up to speed, working with his team, working with his engineer Dan, and yeah, always learning. But he's doing a great job for his first year in F4, and let's hope we see him back next year.
It'd be great to see him get a podium. I don't want to deny Jeff Hall one. All of these drivers capable of it, as we ride back on board momentarily with Ella Lloyd closing in on Martin Molnar, the championship leader. Martin's going to be very disappointed with this, I think.
Yeah, he will be, won't he? Because, yeah, 13th is not a position you expect in Molnar to finish, especially with the speed that he's had. And obviously,
double pole this weekend.
Exactly, yeah. So, yeah, maybe he's just using his worst tyres at the minute for this race, and then we will see something better in the final race of the weekend for Molnar.
Missing a couple of drivers this weekend, that's being, let me see, Charlie Edge not with us this weekend, Joel Bergstrom. I think Charlie doing the challenge, so maybe one of the rounds that he wasn't originally planning to do.
That's right.
And Joel Bergstrom, who had some damage last time out. I hope that Joel can sort his resources out and get back with us as well, the young Swedish driver, second-year driver. So we miss them, wish them well, obviously. Another change in fastest lap back to Campbell-Pilling, 1:20.962, so that lad has got some pace.
A 20.8 is the lap record with Kanato Lee, so that is close now, isn't it? I don't know what times they did yesterday, but yeah, 20.9.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, it's impressive, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's
Molnar, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah, he's got a problem.
That's a big story. That's the championship lead. He wasn't in the points in this race, so maybe not as big a story as it could have been. But Martin Molnar having a bit of an issue and dropping away. I guess he would rather drop out of a non-points position than maybe a podium or potential win later on in the afternoon, but a DNF is not what he wants. A no score is not what he wants.
He's done a factory reset there. He's turned it off and on again and managed to get it going. So let's see if he can get this car back to the pit so the team can get to work on it straight away, so he doesn't have this problem in race 3 later on in the day, because he's starting from pole, like we said earlier.
Yeah, yesterday's race saw McLaughlin out-drag him at the start, and Finn was basically saying, around here, very difficult to overtake, and he had to make the move off the start, which he did, the Red Bull back driver. So, you know, he did the job there. Could get the championship lead here, especially if he could make up another place. Still in 7th, stuck behind Henry Jocelyn, who was, as we said, had a little bit of good fortune yesterday, as we look at Xavier Avramides in the number 4. Another one of this year's rookies. Hopefully will come back for another season next year. But he's got himself ahead of Fu now, hasn't he, Ramirez?
Yes, he has, up to 14th. Lloyd in 13th. Just going back off Lloyd. Lloyd started 18th, so she's had a great start to the race. Looks like she's just dropping back a little bit now, but she was definitely attacking hard to get herself all the way up to 13th, which is a great job from the McLaren Rodin driver. As we go back on board again, as they're going into the chicane, again trying just to make sure that the exit is clean as they come out of the Knickerbock chicane, with Avramidis also trying to get the exit to get the slipstream up the hill and try and have a run into the last two corners.
Yeah, so it's Aussie chasing the Welsh driver, Ella Lloyd. See whether the Aussie can do anything here. Ella, of course, running in the challenge, won't do the 3 races that clash with F1 Academy. Not sure if Ella's going to be racing at the Grand Prix. I would imagine, being a McLaren driver, that it would be in their interest to have her at the British Grand Prix meeting. Good PR for them.
Yeah, I believe she is. As you can just see now, Avramidis is now getting closer and closer to Lloyd. I thought he was going to have a look down the inside of her going into the last corner, but yeah, he thought better of it. He wasn't quite close enough. He needs to get his head down, try and get a good few corners. Getting those exits is the most important thing in these cars, to try and have a go into the next braking zone.
Fu's on his own behind these two, so it is Lloyd incidentally now trying to chase down Tommy Harfield in the Chris Dittman car. So
oh, he's gone for a late move there. Oh, that was close. Very
he's having a go, isn't he?
Late lock-up.
That now makes it into a proper battle, doesn't it? Because Ella will know she's got to start defending.
Yeah, absolutely. She already has started to defend a little bit. She did on the previous lap. But yeah, I thought he was actually going to go for that move then, but I think he caught himself off guard, because he wasn't really expecting to make the move. But then she obviously braked a lot earlier than what he was expecting, and he just managed to avoid running the back with a lock up there. Yes, very good driving from the pair of them then. I think she did actually see him coming as well, just left a little bit of a wider berth just so there was no contact. But yeah, this is the closest he's been now as he comes through Druids. He does run a little bit wide onto the off the curb there, which is very bumpy, and he is close, but he's not quite close enough to make a move. Can he get a good run out the last corner, get the slipstream, which will start taking effect about now, and have a late lunge into turn 1?
Let's see what a 16-year-old Aussie having a good old chase here and giving us a great race to watch. It's almost as if he's coming to terms with Oulton Park and learning. There is Martin Molnar, the lone again virtuosi runner, and several drivers. Interesting now that obviously Fortec not a single car team anymore, yep, but JHR are this weekend, with Joel Bergstrom not being here. And that kind of changes around. Here comes Avramidis down the inside, sees the gap, Anna locks up on the brakes, and that was a lovely bit of, that's really the place, isn't it, where you've got to make the pass. Yeah, I think she actually did clip his rear left. Yeah, I think he's got a puncture. I'm sure, yeah, look, her front wing's damaged, and I'm sure he's got a puncture. Yes, he has. I saw it. I saw the damage that she did as she tried to tuck in, and unfortunately that's just clipped the tyre wall of his rear left, and it's given him a puncture. So yeah, really unfortunate, because that was a great move. Went down the inside, nice late lunge, had a little lock up, but all clean. As Ella Lloyd tries to tuck back in, caught her front wing and gave him a puncture. Yeah, she will probably get a penalty for that, because Avramidis was well and truly in front. She didn't mean to do it, obviously, but it's just the timing of trying to tuck back in. Yeah, that's really unfortunate. But you can see straight away the rear left is low, and it's, yeah, you can see it's starting to shred already. But real shame for Avramidis, because that was a good move. Yeah, so the young Aussie showing us a little bit of overtaking. Ella's got to regroup her thoughts and get back onto it. He will come into pit lane, but he's not going to make places up, so it's going to be no championship points for Xavier Avramidis, who has been up on the podium this year and has done a good job of racing so far. Pazik's still out front. Looks like Molnar's still having issues. Yeah, Molnar's got back out again. They've tried to fix this issue. I wondered whether he was just being courteous and letting everybody pass there rather than having another issue. Yeah, it looks that way. He's up to speed again now, so yeah, he's obviously a lap or two down, so he just needs to stay out of the way of the battles that are going on and just make sure his car is working properly for the final race. Viewers might ask, why is he still out there if he's that far down? The answer is that there's a point for fastest lap, so that could count for the championship. So if the car is sorted, he might be able to, he won't do it while he's letting other cars pass, but if he gets some clear track, grab a championship point. I'm glad Ella's still going, because I think she's going to be up for some points here. Yeah, saying that though, I'm sure she's going to get the black and orange flag soon for a mechanical issue, because that is a little bit dangerous with the front wing flapping like that.
you don't want it to go underneath the front of the car and lose all steering. So, yeah, she might get the meatball flag, as they call it, very soon. But let's see as she crosses the line if there's any flags out. No, not yet. I don't think they've quite spotted it, but yeah, hopefully she can get to the end of the race.
Let's just rub it in and have another look at the incident. Oh, there we go.
So close, wasn't it?
That was a shame, yeah, big shame. But yeah, Avramidis was happy to get stuck in and have a go, which is what you want to see. And yeah, Anna will carry on with our on board. Yeah, still going.
It's not too bad. I've seen worse. I've seen front wings that are flapping away and not quite attached to the nose cone. This one is, and it's actually just flexing, as you can see, when she gets up to a higher speed. Obviously the aero kicks in and it starts to flex the front wing, and it's got no strength in it anymore. So yeah, I think she'll be right. There's only just over a minute left of this race to go, and she should be able to get to the end.
If it starts flapping like me when I was in goal many years ago playing football, then they'll call it in. But at the moment, I don't think that's going to be too much of a problem. Campbell Pilling still with fastest lap, so a little bit of consolation so far for Rome with that 120, which does seem a leap above everybody else, doesn't it, in the conditions that we've got here.
That was pure rage and anger from Campbell Pilling. It's yeah, he'll be very frustrated with himself.
Just had news from our assistant director Mark saying that the stewards have told us that they're okay. They're keeping an eye on the wing, but at the moment it's okay. So thanks for that, Mark.
Yeah, that's good to know, good to hear, because it means she's going to be able to finish this race. But yeah, like you just said, they will be keeping an eye on it, because anything worse than it is doing now, they will sort of think that's quite dangerous, and obviously they don't want any debris on the circuit or for her to lose her steering when she goes into a braking zone. So James Pasiek, he's still leading this race with 19 seconds to go. He's definitely got this one covered, with Raber, who's pushing hard behind in second, and teammate of Raber, Mercier, in third. So great day for Argenti at the minute.
It is, yeah, doing real well at the moment. The top British driver is Ethan Jeff Hall, isn't he, in fourth position. Thomas Behrman down behind him, but at the moment we've got an Aussie leading, a Swede in second position, and the American looking for his first podium in P3, which is going to be another interesting result. And what's that going to make? I think something like we've had 8 winners and there's 7 different drivers on podiums.
That's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is good.
Absolutely fantastic. But Mr. Pasiek has done it for the Rodin team, and he's going to win the race.
Here we come, checkered flag out. Jimmy Pasiek takes his third win. He surpasses his win total from 2 years ago when he made his debut in the championship. August Raber, the Swede, second. Henry Mercier, a podium for the young American driver in third place. Fourth goes to Ethan Jeff Hall. Then it was Thomas Behrman in fifth place from Henry Jocelyn in sixth. More good points for Henry Jocelyn. And seventh position, Fionn McLaughlin. Eighth position, Ari Bansal. So good stuff. And Jimmy Pasiek, yeah, did everything he had to do. The only other thing he could have done was maybe get fastest lap, because he arguably had clear traffic. But if you're on pole in a reverse grid, it kind of suggests that maybe not quite on that sort of pace necessarily.
Yeah, it's what he needed to do there, wasn't it? He had to win that race to get some more points to try and catch up with McLaughlin and Molnar, but Molnar not scoring anything. McLaughlin only finishing in seventh. This is a great day for Pasiek.
It is. As I say, he'll be delighted to have surpassed his win total from his first season as well. He had, let's say, 2 wins in his first season with us a couple of years ago. So to get that third one, and we are just edging towards the the halfway point, the final race of the weekend being the halfway point of the Vera Tools F4 Championship. Ella Lloyd will bring her car home in 13th. Where did you say Ella started? Down
18th.
18th, so 5 championship points for places gained, and I love that. This championship is so well structured in terms of the points. We've got 2 fastest off the front races. We get the extra entertainment from the partial reverse, with drivers being rewarded for making gains from their starting positions. It is absolutely spot on. Here's how they finished the Vera Tools F4 British Championship, round 14 here at Oulton Park. And a win for the Aussie Jimmy Pasiek from August Raber. Henry Mercier in third, with Ethan Jeff Hall next up. Henry getting the rookie win as well. Congratulations to him on his first win. Then it was Thomas Behrman fifth from Henry Jocelyn and Fionn McLaughlin. Ari Bansal gets 8th place for Fortec. Theo Palmer in 9th. Adam Alazari taking that top 10 position as well. 11th goes to High-Tech's Leo Robinson from Chris Dittman Racing's Tommy Harfield. Ella Lloyd showed us the way to 13th place, with Yu Hao Fu in 14th from Cole Hewitson and Elba Larson. Several drivers had issues through the race, those being Rowan Campbell-Pilling, Chase Fernandez, Xavier Avramidis and Martin Molnar. So reverse grid races can affect championship standings, and they have done here. Fionn McLaughlin takes the lead now, 2-point lead over Martin Molnar. Jimmy Pezik consolidates third, 38 points behind Molnar. He's not going to be able to get up to second this weekend. Fourth is August Raber from Henry Jocelyn. Tommy Harfield in sixth from Leo Robinson. Eighth is Adam Alazari, then Thomas Behrman and Ethan Jeff Hall wrapping up our top 10. In the rookies, McLaughlin, unsurprisingly, is the top man there from Thomas Behrman and Xavier Avramidis. And the Challenge Cup, Tommy Harfield ahead of Charlie Edge and Elba Larson in third, ahead of Ella Lloyd and Ari Bansal in fifth. So round 15, halfway point of the championship season. Martin Molnar, double pole this weekend. Fionn McLaughlin, the championship leader, alongside Chase Fernandez on the second row. Great qualifying from Chase. Ari Bansal, the newcomer last time out, he's done well too. And he's next up from Thomas Behrman and Henry Jocelyn. Rowan Campbell-Pilling starts on row 4 from Theo Palmer, and then Ethan Jeff Hall, August Raber, Jimmy Pezik and Henry Mercier on row 6. The 7th row, Leo Robinson, Adam Alazari from Yu Haofu and Tommy Harfield. Then it's Xavier Avramidis and Ella Lloyd, camera car on row 9. The grid completed by Cole Hewitson and Elba Larson. So I think quite a few drivers have been having issues with either jump starts or not getting off the line, and they've got I was going to say a break to deal with it, but they haven't, because they're at the British GP meeting in a couple of weeks. But it is a big issue, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yesterday's first race, there was lots of people stalling. So obviously there's a few clutch issues, I think, that people are having. And then today it was jump starts. So I think, Campbell-Pilling made a hell of a jump start. I think it was when the red lights came on rather than when they went out. And someone else, it was Raber, he got a jump start. So it was he actually finished second on the track.
It was the amended result, yeah.
It was, yeah. And it meant his teammate Mercier jumped to second, and Raber is now third. So, yeah, great result for Mercier on his debut podium. And, you know, moving from third to second, it's a great result for him. But, yeah, let's see how this third race of the day, weekend, is going to pan out. Obviously, like you said, it's a little bit damp on the start line, so you're going to see lots of wheel spin on the start, but then it should settle down once they get a little bit of heat into the tyres. Start's
going to be crucial here, as it was yesterday. Martin Molnar in blue for Virtuosi, with Fionn McLaughlin, who in the same position yesterday outgunned the pole man down into turn 1. Let's see if he does it again today as the lights go out. He does, he gets a good start, does McLaughlin, and I'll tell you what, Molnar knew that, and he slots into second straight away. Coming up into third is Ari Bansal, the first of the Fortec runners in white and red, but that was, by the look of it, a good clean start.
Yeah, it was actually, yeah. McLaughlin got a great start on the outside line. He was on a better line, got through the corner in first place. So let's see if Molnar can chase him down for the win. But as you can see, Ella Lloyd, the Excel car, Lloyd's been put wide there. She's lucky to get away with that, but that could have been a lot bigger. But you can see she's just gone down the inside and kept that position, I think. So great drive from Ella Lloyd to have that wide moment on the grass. Obviously the tyres cooled very quickly, and then she had a little lock-up into the hairpin.
Yeah, it was Cole Hewitson that was going past her. She did lose momentum in a couple of places there, but she's trying to damage limitation for Ella now, which is a pity. They are so fast here. I say damp conditions, but basically everybody having a decent enough start, with McLaughlin having the best of that start as the lower midfield runners head their way up Clay Hill, up in towards Druids for the first time. Championship-wise, I say that it was a little bit of a change around, wasn't it, in the reverse grid race, and McLaughlin now with a 2-point lead over Molnar. Actually, it might change a little bit. Actually, no, it won't, because McLaughlin, he didn't get any more points, did he, because of the amended result. Ella Lloyd, though, back on the offensive, goes on the outside run and getting stuck in. That's Leo Robinson on the inside. Great bit of racing between the pair of them, very close.
Oh, you can see Alazari having a big lock-up there as he's going into turn 1, which is an unusual place to lock up, but he didn't want to hit his teammate going into T1 there. So, yeah, just pulled out of that one so that he didn't have a big collision. It is, like I said, a little bit damp offline, so that's another reason why some of these guys are going to be having lock-ups. But, yeah, McLaughlin doing a great job out front, leading at the minute, with Molnar in second. Bansal in the Fortec car in third. He's having a great second weekend out in British F4.
great for Vortex to have two drivers racing as well, two quick drivers too. Obviously we saw the solo entry in the first couple of rounds grabbing pole position, so we knew the pace was there in the team. But it does nothing but help, doesn't it, when you've got a couple of teammates who can add to the data and work together.
Absolutely, yeah, it's so important. That's why I feel sorry for people like Molnar, who's on his own at the minute, and obviously Campbell Pilling, he's on his own with JHR. So yeah, the more drivers you can have in the team, the more data you've got, and the more speed you can get out of each of the drivers. So yeah, it's all about comparing sort of brake shapes, throttle shapes. Oh, big moment there for McLaughlin. He locked the rears by the looks of it on the down changes. So yeah, he collected that nicely. Then had a small lock up on the front left, so or front right, sorry. So yeah, collected that one nicely, but he's pushing hard. Fastest lap as well, 22.5.
Yeah, first flyer, he's got the clear track, and Phil McLaughlin. I'm trying to get my head around what happened in the first few rounds with him. I mean, he was on the podium, wasn't he, at Donington, but it's like now he's starting to exert that, not say dominance at the moment, but I suppose it is actually, because he's in front again, second fastest off the front race. So yeah, he's doing superbly. Yeah,
he certainly is. He was always there in the first few races, to be fair to him. As you can see, we've got a Campbell Pilling there, and I think that's Raber who's running side by side through the hairpin. He's now got the switcheroo on him, but now Campbell Pilling's just closed it off. And yeah, good driving there from Campbell Pilling.
Was indeed. Chase Fernandez down in 6th from the third place start. So
Raber went for a late move. Campbell Pilling decided not to turn in, but now he's gone across the grass. It was really his corner, but Raber just showed his nose there, and yeah, it just put Campbell Pilling off, which unfortunately in that type of corner you've got nowhere to go apart from over the grass. So he's collected it well, but yeah, just not having much luck, that boy, is he?
He is not. He'll write off the first half of the season and move on to the second half, which will...
it was very late, look.
Yep.
And he's on a damp patch. It was Campbell Pilling that did the right thing there, because if he had turned in, which he had every right to, he would have caused a collision. So yeah, good bit of driving. I know he's lost a place or two, but he's still in the race.
Is Raber going to get a penalty for that?
No, I don't think so. No, I think he showed his nose. There was no collision. They ran side by side.
I think there was. I think it was a bit of, I think they might have banged wheels.
Do you think?
Yeah, maybe.
We'll have another look maybe later on, but yeah.
I think you'll be right.
I just thought Campbell Pilling thought better of it, and just decided to send it over the grass. It's a good option, because you've then got the track the other side of the grass, so it's, you're pretty safe to rejoin.
Well, so McLaughlin out front. Molnar, Bunsell, would be good if he gets a podium, wouldn't it? And in his second meeting, doing the limited campaign, and not even as many of those as he probably can do. Behrman running well too. Again, he's second position in the rookies, fourth position overall. Henry Jocelyn having a good run as well. Chase Fernandez in 6th place. Then we've got Raber Pazik, who obviously started on the front row of the reverse grid race, has come up into 8th place, so he's in the championship points for this one. No points for passes in this one. There is 1 point for fastest lap, and 2 points as well for the pole position at the start of the meeting, which unusually gets added to the second fastest race result.
Just looking at Jeff Hall, he's actually started 9th, and you can see he's pushing hard to try and get past Theo Palmer, but yeah, he's dropped to 13th. I'm not sure exactly what happened to him early on in the race, but you can see now he's all over the back with the CDR car chasing him down. Now we've got a bit of rain here, so this is going to make things interesting and spice things up a little bit. As you can see, Harfield there spinning across the circuit. Everyone's avoided him, but as I said, the rain was coming. He managed to lock up, lose the rear, and unfortunately, I think that was actually Jeff Hall who was trying to avoid him.
It was. There's the view from Ella Lloyd, so this is giving us a view as to, we can't quite see how much rain is coming down, but Ash Sutton was talking at the end of the second touring car race that the rain was expected to be here or return for their third race, and we're on about that time now.
Yeah, exactly, and it's yeah, it did start to rain a little bit at the end of the touring car race, but you can see Harfield down the inside, big lock-up. He's tried to save it, but unfortunately, in fair play to Jeff Hall, he's managed to avoid that, because that could have been a big accident.
Yeah, that was that had me holding my breath, I've got to say. Here's Ella Lloyd.
We can see on board with Ella Lloyd exactly what happened. She can see it all. As you can see, she decided to go to the inside, which is the right move. Aim for the car. If the car is going to the outside of the track, you should be fine just to carry on. And you can see, oh, they're all going off. All going off at the last corner. That's the leader, that's second, that's third. They've all gone wide because it's obviously rained heavily, and you can see Oh, has he got a damage there with the Fortec car of Bansal?
Yeah.
So that's Behrman leading.
Wow, it's surely they're gonna stop this. You've got a car across the pit wall there, at the very least a safety car. If the rain gets worse, the officials will be having very urgent considerations as to what they need to do, but it's Thomas Behrman leading it now.
So these guys that were further back, they could see what was happening. They were all struggling to get the car stopped, so they managed to brake a little bit earlier just so that they didn't follow them through the gravel. But we'll have a replay of that in a second of exactly what happened. But just so you know now, Behrman, Jocelyn, Fernandez is the top three, and that is Bansal, who's, I think he had damage because he was struggling to get on the throttle coming out of the last corner and over the brow onto the start-finish straight.
So is that the case of the drivers that are going off just literally being the first on the new conditions and catching them out, and the rest of them see that and can back off?
Yep. Exactly that, and you can see with that off there, the Red Bull car of McLaughlin, he's got that front wing stuck under the car there, which is not going to give him obviously no front end grip anyway without any aero, but also it's lifting the bottom of the car up higher now, so he's going to have to come in and get rid of that and get a new nose on, and he needs to do it while he's under the safety car. This
was not foreseen. I really didn't see all of this starting to play out. Let's have a recap and a re-look at what happened.
So it's obviously raining. You can't really see it on the TV there, but it's raining a bit harder because you can see all these guys in the top there. They've all locked up. They all run wide. Now you can see it on the camera. He's obviously broken his front wing as he's gone through the gravel, or as he's rejoined. Oh no, he's got it collected. He's been collected by the Fortec car of Bansal. Bansal then's got rear left suspension damage by the looks of it, because that is why he couldn't carry on. Yeah, you can see the rear left now is just hanging on. And I think that's what spits him across the circuit as he tries to get on the power, because he doesn't realise that he's got any damage. Oh, this could have been huge. Everyone's avoided that.
We could have had two really big ones in this race, and I'm so grateful that we haven't. Driver's okay. They get a chance to calm down. They get a chance to, not they needed calming down per se, but they just gets a chance to take a breather, take stock of what's happening. Safety team just nipping down to check that, as you can see, Harry's out of the car, which is the good news. He's okay, and had pace as well. So Fortec back, as we said earlier on in the second race of the weekend, Fortec having the pace and just the change of conditions catching everyone out there.
Exactly that, and yeah, real shame for Bansal there. He's been flying since he joined the championship and shown some real pace in testing, so he didn't deserve that accident there, which yeah, it's put him out of the race, because all it was is just running a little bit wide. If he hadn't have caught the wing of McLaughlin, he would have been able to carry on and you know, finish the race. But yeah, really unfortunate.
The handy thing is actually right by the medical centre. You can see he's okay, and it is just precautionary that they take him over and get to have a look. The meatball flag, as we call it, being shown to McLaughlin. That's because he's got that bit of that wing wedged under the car, and what the organisers don't want is that to fly off and hit a marshal or damage somewhere else.
In race 2, we talked about Ella Lloyd's front wing, which was slightly damaged, and they let her carry on because it wasn't as bad as this. And this is what I was talking about in race 2 of the weekend, where they do show the meatball flag, the mechanical issue flag, which means that he does need to pit. Hopefully they'll tell him on the radio as well, so that he can get that changed as quickly as possible, so he can join the train of cars. He's coming into the pits now.
He would want to stay out because there are championship ramifications as we get to...
Oh, blimey. I think that was Mercier that was trying to avoid that.
Yeah.
So he's done a great job not to get collected by the Fortec car of Bansal.
Yeah, championship ramifications here. Obviously, McLaughlin was in 6th place, went on to finish ahead of Martin Molnar, but now McLaughlin will come into the pits. Molnar's running 9th. He'll go up to 8th, which will be 2 points. Now, depending on who gets the fastest lap, McLaughlin's best bet for a championship lead here, Phil, is to get fastest lap.
Absolutely.
He'll be out of the points. Points aren't going to count here, are they, I don't think?
The only problem is it started to rain, obviously, and the lap was done earlier when it was drier, so he's going to struggle to do a better lap time now. But there is plenty of time. There's 13.5 minutes left, so it could dry again, and he could do a lap. But
he's got it in his pocket, kind of thing.
Exactly. But that's impressive work from Hi-Tech to get that front wing change as quick as they have, because he's going to be joining the back of this train ready for the restart of this race.
That's why Hi-Tech are leading the team's championship at the moment. Road in 2nd, Virtuosi 3rd, Argenti are 4th in the team standings, and it has been a very close year that we've had so far. But what about this situation that Thomas Behrman finds himself? in here. He had a reverse grid pole at Silverstone on his debut last year, and now finds himself in front on merit. We've got to say, his dad David's here this weekend and watching. He's going to be enjoying it. He's going to be very keen to see how it goes.
Yeah, David's really pleased with his progress so far. I was talking to him earlier, and he's so happy with how well he's doing and how well he's improving every weekend. So yeah, let's see if the younger Bearman can do the job here. The safety car lights are out. He's weaving to get as much heat in the tyres as he can. Let's see if he can outsmart Jocelyn in the Vortec car.
Getting ready to come racing once again. So Bearman, Jocelyn, Fernandez, Jimmy Pezik is now up into 4th place. He wouldn't have predicted that.
Restart.
Great restart there by Bearman, who goes across the line and will lead from Jocelyn, Fernandez, Pezik, Alazari. Then it's McLaughlin, was in 6th place. He will, of course, have come in. So Mercier now 6th. Raber next up from Molnar in 8th place. And then Campbell Pilling 9th from Theo Palmer.
Two Argenti
top
cars.
10, and the Argenti teammates clash. Off goes another wing. More bodywork going off as well.
Yeah, I think that's a front wing and maybe a puncture from the 2 Argenti cars, unless Mercier got away with it. But I think, is that Jeff Hall, or was it Raber that's got the front wing damage? That is a real shame, just from having a little bit of contact through turn 1. Big lock up there from Raber, as he's got no front wing.
Jimmy Pezik looking around the outside for 3rd place on Chase Fernandez. I think he's got the job done, Phil.
It looked like it, didn't it? And you can see Leo Robinson as well trying to get a run on the Argenti Mercier car. So yeah, look at this.
It's Alazari, it's not Pezik, it's Alazari that's come through.
Alazari is now in 3rd, Fernandez 4th. Oh, big moment there for Jocelyn.
It was, well, we saw it as a roadie car, but it's Alazari up into 3rd place as Jocelyn collects it all back up, and that will be great for Alazari. Here's the replay.
Yeah, you can see now Raber's gone down the inside. Oh, just caught the rear right of Mercier, and that's taken his front wing off, and then someone's hit it, it's sent it off the track, so hopefully that's not going to affect anything for the rest of the race. Again, Lloyd's got the best. We've got a red flag. We have a red flag now, because I think there's just too much carnage.
Yeah, that'll be race over as well. I think it'll be a red and checker. We are, well, about 10 minutes to go, so half distance, is that half points or not? I don't know.
It could be, I don't know. Yeah, it looks like they're bringing them into the pit lane, so that means that is probably the end. No, they're stopping them on the grid. So maybe they're going to restart it.
Well, this is normal protocol, to be honest. They'll do it, and you notice that they've done it just short of the pit lane entry. So I reckon it'll be a checker, because we've got timing issues as well with touring car racing coming up as well. But 10:54, that's not quite half distance, is it?
It's not, but also it goes back a lap. So any of those positions that people made, it does actually go back to with Bearman, Jocelyn, Fernandez as the top 3.
It will. Alazari will be a little bit disappointed about that. That is if indeed we don't get a restart. So now Raber, if you're the cause of the red flag, of course you can't profit from it. That's the other thing. So won't be able to do from that. Now points wise, where does it? McLaughlin is out of the points, but still has fastest lap, so gets a solitary point. Molnar is in 8th. So my reckoning, if we get the checker, it will be McLaughlin on by 1 point. I've been told there is a restart for the 10th. That's good news.
It is, isn't it? Great for the viewers. I think they'll be putting everyone back to their original, the positions they were in the last lap. So we've still got it on the timing screen as Bearman, Jocelyn, Fernandez, Pezik, Alazari, Mercier, Raber. Raber needs a front wing, which they're doing now, which I believe they are allowed to do.
Just hearing that, 7-minute sprint race from our directors via race control, and it's going to be a wet race, so they'll change to some wet tyres. But in the meantime, as there's a little bit of a breather going on circuit, time to take a quick break. Please stay with us though, because we'll have the resumption of action for you from Oulton Park in just a couple of moments. It is. We need Paul, don't we, when we're crowd surfing actually and having a look.
They need to get Ella Lloyd on wets now, because I saw that she was still on slicks, and it's now made its way to the pit lane this rain. But maybe it's too late. Maybe the time is up, so she's now going to have to start on slicks, which is definitely the wrong decision.
This is where the championship organisers, the race officials really earn their money, because they've got to sort out the order. They've got to call everything out and make sure everyone gets out in the correct order, and that's exactly what they're trying to do now to get them out.
Fair play.
Yeah, good stuff.
That isn't easy to do, to try and do that in the pit lane where there's not much space anyway. Putting them all back in the correct order. So they're going to get one lap behind the second. Ella Lloyd needs to get in the pits ASAP. And anyone else that's on slicks. I'm actually quite surprised that they've allowed them to go out, because it is a bit of a safety issue now. Because you can see it's way too wet.
Cracking job by the British Automobile Racing Club, the BARC, getting everyone out in order and getting that turnaround very quickly indeed. So kudos to the club for sorting that out. Now, do we think they're in the right order? We're sort of hearing conflicting things.
They were definitely putting them in a different order as they were leaving the pits. Whether it's the correct order, we don't know. But
there's all the right cars, but not necessarily, to use a very old one, in the right order.
No, exactly. Behrman definitely, and Jocelyn and Fernandez were the top three. I think they are in the correct order. Yeah, but we'll see as soon as we get onto this first flying lap. But yeah, I think there's a couple of cars that are on slicks, annoyingly, which is not good for them. They are going to have to pit, and they are going to have to get some wets on ASAP.
Yeah, so we might get the pit stop from Ella Lloyd. Yu Hao Fu is in. So he will rejoin some way back. And of course, one thing you can't do in these conditions is do a blistering lap to close right the way up. And significantly, the clock is running as well.
It is, isn't it? Yeah. Now, just noticed that. So yeah, it's only going to be a very quick, maybe 3-lap, maybe 2-lap sprint race. But yeah, let's see if the young Behrman can do the job.
This would be another potential bit of history being written here. Either way, whether it's Jocelyn, Behrman or Fernandez, and I'm being very unkind writing Physique out of the picture. He's in 4th place. We've got a bit of F4 history about to be made, possibly.
Exactly. Yeah. We've had Fernandez. He's won a reverse grid race before, hasn't he, Fernandez?
Oh yes, of course.
But not a main race qualifying.
Not the fastest off the front one. So, but yeah, you're quite right. He did take the reverse grid win. Scott Stringfellow, probably driving the safety car, probably wishing he was still in single-seaters, as he was many years ago. Made it up to F3.
I'm sure he's enjoying this car. He's getting plenty of laps in. As I predicted, Lloyd and one other car has come into the pits. That's Mercier. Mercier decided
Robinson's come in as well. Leo Robinson's in.
So, yeah, they decided to stay on slicks as a bit of a gamble. But unfortunately, it rained so hard just before they went out, and they ran out of time. So yeah, like you say, Robinson with high-tech, they're doing a quick change. You've got Mercier, who is with Argenti, and then you've got Lloyd, who's with Rodin. So 3 teams all trying to go for the quickest pit stop.
That is quick as well, isn't it?
Yeah, that
Robinson's been done quickly.
He certainly has.
I mean, this is not a mid-race thing that these guys are drilled for, equipped for, but that was a quick turnaround. Yeah,
high-tech have definitely won that. Rodin second, and then Argenti looks like they came out 3rd. So they need to now catch up the safety car.
Is that the Phil Glue trophy for the fastest?
He's not far behind, actually. The Argenti and Rodin were very similar, to be fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, bad decision that for all those 3. But like I said to you earlier, you have to take the gamble sometimes.
You do. So Behrman out front, Jocelyn second, and what? That's a shame. Wow. That is a great pity. So red flag. Why, I'm not sure at the moment, whether we've had a problem with someone else. We're having a quick look round. Our spotters are going to be having a look round. Maybe it can't be that the weather's got worse, because it doesn't look significantly worse out there. And they're in wets, but it might be, we're hearing it might be a erroneous order, perhaps. If someone's in the wrong place, obviously you don't want to start the race, but that's going to be done, isn't it?
Oh yeah, that's it now. Yeah. That was a complete waste of time. So yeah, really disappointing for the viewers, because we didn't get that last few laps to watch, but yeah, it was good to see some pit stops.
We did, actually, and nice to see the teams at work and do their stuff, but the guys at the front are going to be disappointed, apart from Thomas Behrman, who in theory then takes his first win.
Yeah, so which is great for him.
Which he earned as well.
Yeah, I wonder whether also, does it go back a lap as well? So that's completely void, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's possibly going to be half points. We won't probably know that until all of the they're going into Parc Ferme. And so it's Behrman from Jocelyn, Fernandez in 3rd place, Jimmy Physique in 4th. There is Jimmy in the 93 car, the Rodin driver going in. Al-Azhari in 12th. Alazari was the most unlucky out of everyone because he'd got up to third before the first stop. So disappointment for him, but he knows he had the pace and the ability to overtake. But as you can see down there, Thomas Behrman, he's going to be a very happy young man.
They love that pose, don't they? When they get on the bonnet of their car, and they never know what to do with their arms. But that was a good celebration from Behrman, and yeah, he deserved that.
That comes from a film, doesn't it? The What Do I Do With My Arms? Is it the...
Yeah. Talladega Nights, isn't
Talladega
it?
Nights, that's where it comes from, isn't it? Absolutely right. It's true, though. It's very, very true. So we're just waiting for confirmation of the result, but it's the 15-year-old from Chelmsford, Thomas Behrman, who takes his first win. Ex-Carter, as many of them are. Did 2 meetings at the end of last season. Had a best of 9th, and that was a really sensible thing for a youngster to do. If you want rookie status, come in, do the last couple of rounds of the preceding year, and you can keep, with limited experience, keep the rookie status. And then, David Behrman, his dad, Thomas's dad, said, yeah, it's very much rookie year for us. Probably not going to be in the mix for overall, but let's try and get the rookie title, and then maybe come back for another year, maybe here. Maybe in an international championship weight. See, look how much it means to you. That's great to see. It
is, yeah. And it's great for the team, great for his mechanic, great for him, great for the family, the sponsors. It's just really nice to get that result. He works so hard with his team, and they deserve that, every bit of that. And same with Jocelyn and Fernandez. They work so hard with their teams, and finding the backing to get there and to all be on the podium is fantastic.
Well, we've had a result through. Let's have a look at the official result then of round 15, and Thomas Behrman takes overall and of course rookie honours. Henry Jocelyn second from Chase Fernandez and Jimmy Pezik. Adam Alazari 5th from Fian McLaughlin, and Fian's finish means that he gets points and retains the championship lead either way. Henry Mercier next up from August Raber, Martin Molnar in 9th, and Rowan Campbell Pilling completing our top 10. 11th goes to Theo Palmer from Leo Robinson and Ella Lloyd. Xavier Avramides in 14th from Elba Larson. Yuhao Fu in 16th from Ethan Jeffel, Tommy Harfield. Ari Bonsall in 19th place, and Cole Hewitson 20th.